Well, I'm back once again, and thank you for watching our last video too, also as well. And today we have a special topic that we're going to be discussing. What a lot of you, our viewers, and also our members in our Facebook group, Stimulus Check Updates, have been asking a very popular question. Specifically saying, haven't gotten my $1,200 stimulus check, and what you should do. That's going to be the title of this video too, also as well. So if you haven't already, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications also. That way you never miss a single stimulus check update as we make them here on this video. And give this video a thumbs up because it helps promote the video on YouTube also as well. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video also as well. So I guess let's get started here. So we're going to pretty much get into what to do if you haven't received your stimulus check yet. And I found an article on Forbes written by Jim Wang from Personal Finance. And the article says that the IRS actually last month on June 3rd, they delivered 159 million economic impact payments, totaling almost $267 billion in assistance. Out of those 159 million payments, 120 million were sent by direct deposit, with 35 million sent by check. The 4 million that was left were sent by prepaid debit card. If you're one of the many Americans who is due a stimulus check but has not yet received one, just watch this video all the way to the end too also as well. That way you find out what to do. And also, you want to make sure you also watch this video all the way to the end, so that way you don't miss out on the bonus and all the bonus information too also as well. Okay, so let's talk about who's eligible for the stimulus check as a result of the CARES Act. Single filers, those who earned less than $75,000, they would receive a $1,200 payment. Joint filers, those earning less than $150,000, would receive a $2,400 payment. A head of household earning less than $112,500 would receive a $1,200 payment. Dependents, add an additional $500 per qualifying child. So if you earn more than those thresholds, your check will be reduced by 5% of the amount over the threshold. A single filer would not receive a stimulus check if their income is over $99,000. So it's important that you calculate your benefit correctly, because you may not have received a check because you were not eligible, right? There may be other unexpected reasons why you are not eligible. For example, if one spouse on a jointly filed return did not have a taxpayer identification number, the family would not be eligible for a check, even if the other spouse had a number. Now, in the CARES Act, a dependent was eligible only if they qualified for a child care credit, which is only applicable if they're 16 years old or older. Now, dependent children 17 and older did not add $500 to their stimulus check total. Those dependent children were likely claimed on a previous year's tax return, so they'll not be able to qualify for a $1,200 check on their own. The HEROES Act, passed only by the House, sought to fix many of these issues, but those rules still apply. If you were eligible, this is what you need to do next. Okay, check the Get My Payment. Check to see if the IRS Get My Payment tool can tell you the status of your check and when you're expected to receive it. The tool has gotten a little better at being able to tell you about your check, where it is, and how it will be delivered. Did you file a tax return for 2018 or 2019? Now, if so, did you ask the IRS to direct deposit your refund into an account that was closed or no longer available? And if so, the IRS will issue you a paper check or a prepaid debit card issued by Money Network Card Holder Services. Now, the IRS does this for anyone who is due a check, but does not have their banking information on file with the IRS. Whether you get a check or a debit card, that's based on whether your tax return was processed. If your tax return was processed by the IRS facility in Andover, Massachusetts, or Austin, Texas, your payment would have come by way of that prepaid card in a plain white envelope. If you accidentally threw it away, follow these instructions on how to recover your card. Okay. Now, if you did not file, did you fill out the non-filer tool? If you didn't file a tax return, the IRS may not even know that you're eligible for a stimulus check. So this is why they created the non-filer tool, so you can give them your information. This tool is available until October 15th. The IRS states anyone who registers by October 15th will get their payment by the end of the year. Are you due a paper check? If you're due a paper check and will not get a prepaid debit card, an IRS internal memo shared with the Washington Post, it explains when you should receive your check. Now, there is a chart here that gives specific dates on when you receive your check based on your earnings. So what I'm going to do here is share that with you on my screen, so that way you can see if you fit into any of those specific categories. So that way you know when to expect your paper check if you're waiting on a paper check in the mail. Now, if you're earning $70,000 or less, you'll get a check on June 5th. If you're $80,000 or less, in June 12th. $90,000 or less, June 19th. $100,000 or less, June 26th. $110,000 or less, July 3rd. $120,000 or less, July 10th. $130,000, July 17th. $140,000, July 24th. $150,000, July 31st. $160,000, August 7th. $170,000, August 14th. $180,000, August 21st. $190,000, August 28th. $198,000, September 4th. And everyone else who does not fit in any one of those categories will be getting their check on September 11th. Okay, the IRS may change the schedule as it did with the prepaid cards. But if you haven't received your paper check, it could be because the IRS just simply hasn't sent it out yet. And if all else fails, just call the IRS too also as well. In the middle of May, they reported that they added 3,500 representatives that will help you answer questions about your stimulus check payments too also as well. Now, I've also found some other information that may be helpful to you if you still have not received your stimulus check yet. There was an article released on July 6th, actually, on News 4 Nashville. And it was coming from a Legal Aid Society of Middle Tennessee that gives advice on what to do if you still have not received your stimulus checks. Okay, now, for many people who qualify, stimulus checks were deposited into bank accounts around April 15th. But however, there are some people who still haven't received theirs. Lara Liskar is one of those people still waiting. My coworkers actually got theirs the first week or when they first came out. Everyone that I work with got theirs. This is what Laura Liskar said. She also says that she lived at different addresses in Nashville for the last 5 years. She thinks having different addresses may be the reason for the delays. It was concerning me because I wasn't getting the unemployment and the stimulus check was not even coming. I actually tried to do it online myself and I couldn't get past putting my name and address in. Mary Mitchell Gillum is the director of this Legal Aid Society's Low Income Taxpayer Clinic. And she says that while some people, they didn't initially get the checks, they will go out for the rest of the year. And then if you don't get them this year, don't worry, you'll still be able to file a tax return next year to try to recapture the stimulus payment or economic impact payment that you did not receive. So basically, if you didn't get your stimulus check this year, you'll be able to get it next year when you file your tax return in 2021. Now, Gillum says the Legal Aid Society of Middle Tennessee is getting numerous calls from people who didn't receive the stimulus payments, and they desperately need those payments. She says a lot of times we're seeing the marginalized or vulnerable taxpayers are disproportionately left out. Now, Gillum believes that there's a few reasons why there's been delivery issues. First, she says the government provided the opportunity to put bank account information to input it in to get the stimulus routed to a different location than what is listed on your return. But that option, it was removed in the middle of May. So because of that, she says tax preparers likely advised people to file an IRS Form 88-22. So that way they can change or update their address. Now, the problem with that is anything filed with paper in most IRS offices after about March 16th, there was nobody there to process the paper in. In fact, there's still nobody there at a lot of offices processing paper. Now, I've been told by the IRS that as of July 13th, they'll start coming in to process paper, but that paper may not be processed until August the 1st. That's what Gillum says. Another problem is non-filers, or people without a tax filing requirement may not have got the check even though they may qualify. If you haven't gotten your payment, a lot of people don't know that they can qualify for a payment even if they don't have income or a tax filing in play. They need to file a tax return to get that payment, or they need to go to the IRS website. There can also be complications depending on your marital status. Now, Gillum says if for some reason you file a joint tax return with a spouse and you didn't get your payment because your spouse doesn't have a valid Social Security number, but you do have a valid Social Security number, and or your child has a valid Social Security number, you've got until July 15th to file a married filing separate return to claim that payment. After July 15th, you won't be able to go from the married filing joint status to the married filing separate status. So basically, you need to change your filing status from filing joint to filing separate, especially if you or your spouse does not have a valid Social Security number. Okay. While there's still work to be done, Gillum says the IRS is trying, and people like Lisgar that haven't got their checks need to keep at trying. I commend them for the work that they've done to get those payments, but I mean, there's still a lot of people out there that are waiting right now, and the government still has some work to do to make sure people get those payments. They don't need to wait until 2021. They're suffering right now. And I couldn't agree more, people, with this article here from the Legal Society of Middle Tennessee, that, if you have not gotten your stimulus check yet, well, those are some things that you can do. Okay, so I hope you guys appreciated this video too also as well. And if you watch this video so far up to this point, now I'm going to give you guys some bonus information that you definitely don't want to miss out on here. And this, as you see on the screen here, is our stimulus check update group. And make sure that you join the group so that way you can get minute by minute updates on stimulus checks and stimulus packages too also as well, whether it be the first stimulus check or the second stimulus check. Okay, the link to join the group will be found inside of the description down below the video too also as well. And also, while you're down there in the description, make sure that you check out other links that have free money that you can get right now, and also helpful resources too also as well. And if you have an idea for my next video, please let me know inside of the comments, or let me know inside of the Facebook group too also as well. Appreciate your time, and I love all of you. And from all of us here at the How to Get an 800 Credit Score family, stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and on this channel we talk about ways to increase your credit score, build credit, and get approved for the lowest payments on mortgages and lines of credit, travel the world for free, earn extra money with cash back. And if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss a single video as we make them.